when you're analyzing people, not necessarily athletes, anyone, what are the most common vitamin deficiencies you see in people?
Vitamin K is a big one, which is like something that regulates calcium deposition. So you can end up with clogged arteries really easily if your vitamin K2 intake is not on point. So that's something. That's why Kyle supplements with that K2 supplement, because that's pretty hard to get from food, honestly, getting enough K2. What else? Potassium. Most people are severe, like that's a mineral, but most people are like, they get enough sodium, they salt the fuck out of their food, but they don't have enough potassium to kind of like counterbalance it. And then they end up with high blood pressure or other like dysregulated fluid retention issues. The potassium is huge, which is like most people are getting barely anything, but you need like 4,700 milligrams a day as your RDA. Whereas, so a lot of people are salting their shit, but not having any potassium. That's a big one, as well as magnesium. That's big. I don't know, like some of the B vitamins, like you get kind of.
Yeah, I take magnesium as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Magnesium is pretty hard to get through food, honestly. Like, especially if you're in a calorie deficit, that's where the supplements can actually really help, because it's pretty hard to keep your micronutrients like peaked when you're eating like 2,500 calories, for example.
Yep.
So off the top of my head, other stuff like some of the B vitamins can be difficult for some people, depending on if they're getting enough red meat or other stuff. One of the best things I can recommend, some people can't stand it, and this is why I'm probably going to come out with like a beef liver capsule supplement, but just having an ounce of cooked beef liver every day. I do that and I don't mind the taste, but that is like nature's multivitamin. You hit so many of your micronutrient needs just by having like 1 ounce of beef liver every day.
Huh.
Yeah.
Not a fan. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'll keep taking my pills.
Yeah.
Oh, you just gotta. I was gonna say you have to fry it, but now I'm defeating the purpose.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing. Like people ask me about like meal prep.
Coating it in ice cream.
Yeah.
I mean, fried liver is not bad. It tastes pretty good.
People ask me about like how do you cook things and make it like stick to those like calorie numbers, and like the big things that'll like really fuck up your calorie intake are condiments, things like ketchup, mayonnaise, barbecue sauce, and there's alternatives to all that stuff except for mayonnaise. There's no good mayonnaise alternative. Maybe tzatziki sauce is like one of the better like condiments I've found that I could make myself, because it's like Greek yogurt, dill, lemon juice, and I don't put the olive oil in it, which is what makes it fucking good.
Yeah, that sounds gross.
Is ketchup high calorie?
Ketchup's high calorie.
Barbecue sauce. Guys barbecue sauce.
Guys barbecue.
Let me get my barbecue sauce, because it's the best shit ever. I found the best barbecue sauce ever.
Kyle found the best ketchup too. It's the one I have it almost every day. I'm looking at my order history now.
I don't eat much ketchup.
Well, I eat plain potatoes with nothing on them. And Kyle's like, it's not really high class, but yeah, I find it to be like an appetite.
Not even salt?
Not anymore. I used to put salt on it. Now I just dip it in this ketchup.
Oh, yeah. Hughes, he has some good sugar-free stuff.
I'm waiting for Zach to share it. But yeah. So this is my ketchup solution. And it's real low. Serving is like, I don't know, 10 to 15 calories or something. Like, it's pretty low. And
oh, you nailed it. You fucking nailed it. So
5 calories.
So like you notice all my shit's like brand new in the bottle because I buy so goddamn much of it. G Hughes sugar-free ketchup, it's 5 calories per tablespoon. Regular ketchup has so much sugar in it that it's in Europe it's technically defined as soda. Like it's like a sugary fucking beverage, technically speaking. And their barbecue sauce is sick. And it's the same calorie density. It's 5 calories per tablespoon. You can like drench your food with this almost and like get almost no extra calories. 2 carbs per serving. A serving's 2 tablespoons.
And Kyle knows. Oh, I thought there was a break. Kyle knows this, but there's a there's low fat or low sugar maple syrup. I'm trying to say. Sorry, that is also like you can dump maple syrup on shit guilt free. Like
he's going to go grab that now.
He probably is.
This stuff I just linked is unreal on rice. This teriyaki sauce, absolutely ridiculous.
Feel sama.
For me, I have found that a baked potato is the in terms of like calorie to appetite satiation ratio.
Yeah,
top of the food chain.
Have you ever
which is why I have one.
Shirataki noodles before?
I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
aren't all noodles the same but a different shape?
Yeah, so they're basically like they're essentially calorie free. Now the texture of it, some people don't really like, but when you're deep into a diet, this can be a game changer. There's like for an entire like the same equivalent amount that would be 250 calories of pasta, you can eat this and it's 5 to 10 calories.
And what is it called?
It's called Shirataki noodles.
Oh, get out of here with the shirataki noodles. Those things are awful.
Shirataki. He was just telling us that.
Yeah, well, if you're deep in a diet and you have like you're dying of hunger and you put like the sugar-free, the seal sama teriyaki sauce on it and you put some like chicken in it, you can get like just the chicken calories basically with some of the sauce, and you can eat what seems to be a full pasta dish and fill yourself up.
I'd rather go hungry.
It looks like it's so thin.
It's
it looks
so
like someone told me a rumor about food.
Here's how you know that
it's like the ghost of pasta past.
When you buy the good brand, they advertise on the pack, no smell. They literally do. Like the good shirataki noodles or whatever are the ones where they have like triple rinsed them to get rid of the smell that naturally comes from those fucking noodles because they smell so gross.
I had a similar experience with stevia. Do you want to go first, or do you want to?
So, like, there's lots of like low calorie syrups. This is literally the best one. I've tried them all. That shit Greg Doucette uses is not nearly as good as this, and it has more calories. This is 5 calories for 2 tablespoons, and it tastes like maple syrup. It's Maple Grove Farms low calorie syrup in maple. They have a butter version too, but it doesn't taste like butter.
In Canada, we have so many fewer options for like low calorie alternatives. So when I go to a grocery store in the States, it's like it's wild to me how much selection.
That explains our
have.
Amazing physiques.
Yeah.
So like when Greg mentions his choice of ingredients, a lot of the time it's based on what's available in like Nova Scotia. You know what I mean? So I can imagine he's never even seen what you just showed. Like I've never seen that either. And
it's sick. It's like I've tried every other conceivable like low calorie syrup, and most of them have double the calories per serving, and that's by far my favorite. And I would make a good bit of that like French toast. It was just like so filling. I found bread that was like high in protein. It had like a couple grams of protein per slice and only like 40 calories a slice. So I could, 3 slices of that is like no calories, like drenched in egg whites.
Yeah, my wife bought some like protein bread stuff, and she's like, "Look, it's 60 calories a slice, or no, it's 90 calories a slice, and 10 grams or 11 grams of protein per slice." And I was like, "That's actually not bad for bread," and it is vile. It is so like you want the texture of bread when you're biting into bread, and it's like it is like so
fucking
dense.
Sponge or weird.
Yeah, it is the densest kitchen sponge you've ever felt. It's horrible. I haven't.
Is it called like carb something on the? Does it say carb something on the thing?
It might. I don't know the bread.
I've gotten some bread. I've used this bread before. It's a half of a loaf for $10 though, and it's kind of what you described. But being that dense, I don't care if I'm soaking egg whites in it because I can just get more egg whites in there.
That's fair. I was trying to use it like a sandwich because it's bread, and it was.
I would also like. I remember I had somebody over and they were like, "Have you seen the guy who drinks egg whites on the internet?" And I'm like, I know the guy who drinks egg whites. She's like, why would he do that? And I'm like, I literally like, we're in the kitchen and I like grabbed a carton of them. I'm like, cause they're so good. And I'm just like, cause they don't taste bad. They taste fine.
I mean, they don't taste good. Like when you have egg whites, you really realize how much the yolk is carrying that team.
All right, I got another one for you. I got another little hack.
Oh, you disagree?
Egg whites taste just as good, but so I have an egg white omelet for my breakfast almost every day. It's just egg whites with some salsa in it. That's my 5 days a week breakfast. And the egg white is good, but if you do have an egg, it's a little thicker and you're like, it's more satiating. Mm-hmm. But I don't find it's all about the payoff. It's all about what sacrifices you were willing to make and stick to. The coffee. I was trying to say coffee before. My stevia. And when I first did it, I used the liquid stuff and it tasted chemically and it was bad. And Kyle made a mention of like now with less stank in his noodles, that my stevia was like, now we taste better. It was like, I promise we don't taste horrible anymore. And you're a sweetener. How, like, sugar doesn't have to apologize for its taste. The sweetener shouldn't have to either. But
that's how you know stevia is like probably the best sweetener for you, because it cannot compete on a level playing field with the good sweeteners.
The powdered sweetener, I'm sorry, the powdered stevia, I think is pretty good. And then I went from like full cream, which I liked, or maybe it was even like vanilla good cream or something, to some sort of almond cream. Now my coffees have gone from 100 calories to like 15. And you have a couple coffees a day, and that's a notable difference.
So don't ever eat egg whites. Eat egg white product. All right.
What does that mean?
It's, oh man, my lighting.
I can't tell with your lighting.
So like this is liquid egg whites, but they do some sort of black magic to it so that it looks like regular eggs. Yeah, do I not have a glass? Sure, dye, whatever.
Yeah.
Let me get a glass so I can pour it and like show you what it fucking looks like.
Yeah, take a nice big old drink.
I will. I don't give a fuck. It's good. Good for you.
He doesn't give a fuck, would he?
There's no limits around here. I'll drink egg whites.
I'll drink 3 ounces of egg white product. I'm wild. I'm kooky. I'm crazy. Yeah, it's just hard. You're talking about like you need to make all those sacrifices for the little things, and they add up. It's hard to get over the initial hump of getting used to those substitutions over the real thing. But once you are, just like Zevia, like I'm used to this now. When I first moved to this, instead of like regular diet soda for the most part, I was like, this is so sad. It's just not good compared to the real thing.
So like this is actually a brand I haven't used before, but
really putting it out on the line there then. Yeah, that looks like eggs.
It looks like eggs. And like it's the consistency of eggs. It's not like that. It's kind of thick. It looks like you beat the yolks up in there.
I have an easy time substituting great stuff with good stuff, and that's like the whole point. You know, is it as good? No, but I don't know. I just don't feel like I'm giving up very much for what I got in exchange, and I lost a lot of weight, and I was happy about that. I'm still happy about that.
That didn't taste good.
But where I struggle is when I'm not home. Like tomorrow I leave. I'm going away for the weekend for a paramotor fly-in type thing. Cool. It is super difficult. Even like grilled chicken. Everyone says, "Oh, I get grilled chicken." It comes on bread, you know. And if you if you take like the bread out and try to have a chicken, lettuce, tomato, freaking dirty handful of caveman food, that's not satiating. Like you're hungry afterwards.
Yeah.
I can't have just a chicken breast and nothing else with it.
And if you get like the chicken breast at a lot of restaurants, like I've done this in like health kicks where like you order the chicken breasts, like, and you cut into it and you start eating, you're like, this is the best chicken breast I've ever had in my life. And then it's like, oh, I'm at a restaurant. There's half a stick of butter on this chicken right now. Yeah. That's why it's so much better than the chicken I'm having at home. Because they don't care.
Derek, I was telling them like instead of egg whites, I get egg beaters. So it's like, it's just egg whites. It's the same macros as like egg white. But it's the consistency and the flavor is completely different. Like it's not fucking gross.
Wow.
Egg beaters are better.
Going back for more, huh?
I mean, this is actually like this is a different brand that I normally use. This is Publix brand, and this did not taste good a second ago. This is like seasoned in some way. They put salt and some sort of like onion powder in there, so it tasted like onions or some shit. Like they fucked up my order. This is not what I ordered. I did like normally I can drink this shit and then not mind at all. I will, I guess. But that's vile.
I mean, the onion's probably a good addition once you cook it up. Make it a little tasty.
Oh yeah. Well, like not if you're doing French toast though, right? I don't want savory. You know what I mean?
I feel like we should use Kyle drinking that stuff in our load stack advertisement.
We could.
Enormous load. Look at this.
But never waste a drop of your own protein.
I was actually wondering if Shopify was going to have some like problem with our label because we just have like cum splatters all over it.
I thought we removed the cum splatters.
No, we kept a tasteful amount of them.
Yeah.
There was this hilarious moment where like it's the four of us and like maybe like the guy who's designing the label for us all in like one chat. And Taylor's like, yeah, I like that. I like the cum splatters. And Derek's like, guys, could we pull back a little on the cum splatters for the credit card processing companies? I don't know if they're gonna dig that. And Taylor's just like, could we leave a couple of cum splatters? like some dribbles, maybe.
Because it's funny.
I know it's funny.
You need more cum splatters for a load stack product.
You know what we should sell? You know what we should sell with the load stack? I wish we could like a black light.
Black lights.
like it comes with a like
First
maybe
50 purchases come with an ultraviolet.
yeah,
light.
the first 50. By the way, I don't know if it's even possible. I don't want to put any extra shit on your plate, but I've got so many people asking to like pre-order it. I don't know if that's in any
I'm
way.
afraid to like have too many people exceed the demand, and I know that sounds like you don't want people to pay and then not.
Yeah.
I guess hypothetically we could limit it, but we've never done pre-orders for even like the stuff that sells out in 1 minute. So
I understand.
It'll be out in like a couple of weeks, and then
Okay.
it'll be good.
Awesome.
I'll
I just
make
wanna
a
throw that
video
out there.
plugging it, and I think it'll be a solid launch.
Yeah, we'll all promote it for sure. I think it'll be fun. I mean, look, I've said it before. I'll say it again. It works. Like
It does.
It's shocking. Like women are like the fuck. Like, is it always like this? And I'm like, lately. Like, yeah.
Don't look at my medicine cabinet. This is all me.
I tell them, I'm like, I literally am like part of the manufacturing of a product to make cum loads bigger. And they're like, are you out of your fucking mind? I'm glad there's this thing on Tinder called Moonlight or something like that. It's like a security thing so that like somebody knows where you are. And I feel like they're like, I'm glad I signed up for Moonlight. This guy makes cum pills.
Yeah, there's some of those studies that companies like On It, like Alpha Brain, like some of those companies, they'll fund a study with the university. Like, I don't think it would be out of the question to spend, like, I wouldn't mind spending a decent amount of money to like fund a study where we could like prove like this is how much your load will increase. Like this is
Did you
the
have
before
you
and
seen-
after.
All right, so this is super gross, but did you see how maybe the clip of the measurements that I took?
Yeah, you sent a lot of descriptive detail. Yeah,
I went maybe so I came into condoms and I compared over the period of time and I drew the semen out of the condoms with a 3 milliliter syringe and measured.
I was like, huh, tastes the same.
I literally measured semen down to the milliliter, to the cc, and I want to say. You could go back and like see what I said before because that's like what's accurate. But I remember it being like 9 mils or something like that, like something absurd.
you know, it's another reason that reinforces how potent this shit is you were on TRT, which shuts down your sperm production while you were doing the experiment. So you still had this massive increase even when you're shut down. Like your literal balls that manufacture are shut down right now.
Yeah, so, I'm glad. How effective? Oh, this is a great question. How effective of male birth control is my TRT dose?
Not enough for me to give you a green light on that.
Okay, good.
Definitely not.
Good
Especially with your carnitine in there, dude. Like you might be fertile right now. Like very.
Oh no.
That's Kyle's worst nightmares.
Yeah. All right, so we're cutting the L-Carnitine right out.
That could come with responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think people will love it.
We worked before we got your obvious like high level of expertise. It was literally just Kyle and I texting back and forth, and I was like, "What else do you take for cum?" I take zinc, sunflower lecithin, and he's like, "Sunflower lecithin," and I'm like, "Yeah, I think the lecithin is a really heavy carrier in this formulation." Then keep adding more and more things, and it got better. I didn't quite do the syringe in the condom thing. I just kind of gave like a, that's a lot of cum.
Yeah. We're literally like at the maximum bottle size you can fit capsules into. Like this is how hectic this thing is. It's gonna
be. Bottle is this big. I keep telling people, and every time I repeat myself, they're like, "Wait, you were serious?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's a bottle the size of a goddamn football, and it's 9 capsules a day." Like, look, if we were trying to rip you off with some sort of bullshit product that didn't work, it'd be 1 pill. Okay, it'd come in a bottle that was this big. All right, it'd be like, yeah, take 1 of these a day, you'll be fine. No, we made something that fucking works, and
it's 9 pills down from, I think initially it was 16 pills.
Yeah.
A day.
Which it was to the point where it was like, would we be better off just taking scoops of powder? And
we were gonna do like a pre-workout load stack. Basically, you just have like a fucking shaker full of stuff.
Yeah, but no, it absolutely fucking works. I mean, I take it every day. It's outrageous.
Me too. Well,
really
I'm
funny.
out now. I ran out of my sample packs.
Well, I'm out of like the like branded version, but I've got like all the prerequisite ingredients like in individual form. So that's why I'm taking almost 30 pills a day, because I'm taking so many. I'm taking my normal supplementation plus like my homemade load stack. It's ridiculous.
And it works. Yeah, I had people come over and they were like it was in my kitchen, like next to my protein and everything, the creatine, and they're like poking around, like, what the hell is a gorilla load stack? And I'm like, it's to make you come more, idiot. They're like, why? And it's like, because it's funny. Because it works. And like, they thought 9 pills was silly, but Kyle hit the nail on the head. Like, that's how you know it's not, made up. Like, that's
this will be good even for like performance in the bedroom though too. Like the nitric oxide precursor I put in there like shits on just plain L-Arginine, where you'll actually notice a difference in like erectile quality too. So this on top of like your Blue Chew or your Viagra Cialis too, it's a fucking significant difference.
Does it have an impact on blood pressure? Like
you could lower it.
Yeah.
Not by a lot, but like enough. Yeah,
that's the direction you want. If it's
Woody's blood pressure was a little bit high, and I recommended him some of those salt alternatives that you showed me months back.
Oh, the no salt?
No, like maybe that one and a couple others. I experimented with several of them until I found one that was good for like topping things and one that was better for cooking.
Gotcha.
I made some changes. I got it back down to 120 and stopped measuring it. So,
you're in the clear forever.
That's how it works.
I take my blood pressure once a month or so, and it's been good for a long time.
Yeah.
I remember when we first started like the thing, and Derek was like, yeah, and salt your food to taste. I should have probably pressed him a little more, but I was just like, lots of salt. That's what I like. Okay, sounds good. And I'm just like salting the fuck out of everything because I like shit salty.
I would have taken that as like as much salt as you want, anytime. Like
that's basically what I did. And one of those like diet hacks, one of the ways that I would deal with like hunger was that Orville Redenbacher popcorn that's 100 calories a bag. And I found like this seasoning salt for it that tastes like buffalo wings.
Oh,
and
nice.
So there was a couple times where it was like I can either have 3/4 of a cup of rice, which is like, and it's gone, or I can replace my carbs with like 2 whole bags of popcorn, and I would just like eat my like piece of beef, my peppers, my spinach, and then I'd have like this big ass bowl of popcorn. I was like, all right, I can live like this. Oh, and sugar-free Jell-O.
That's where being intuitive kind of comes into play with the vertical diet, because it's mainly geared towards guys trying to get like jacked and maximizing sports performance and muscle building. So like some of the stuff you can alternate in, like popcorn for rice, for example, if you're cutting, definitely highly encouraged, because otherwise you might be like unnecessarily starving yourself. At least like you're eating the same amount of calories, but you feel way more hungry because the food is so dense in nutrients. Like, although you have, like with rice, you're not really trading off micronutrients if you swap it for popcorn. So like, by all means, if you're in a calorie deficit, like do that,
That's exactly what I was thinking too. Yeah. And like those were the 2 things I used the most when I was just like actually fucking hungry. Like I would finish my meal and I'd be
popcorn and Jell-O.
Popcorn and Jell-O. Like I found this like sugar-free Jell-O that comes like by the, how you can buy like the cheap eggs and they come in like 36 pack, like big giant things. I was buying Jell-O like that. And when it's 0-calorie Jell-O, it's like, what are we, 8 at a time, 10 at a time? Like if I'm hungry, I would just keep eating Jell-O. And something about like Jell-O mixing with the popcorn in your stomach, I feel like it forms some sort of mass of like density that like makes your body feel satiated for a while. Like popcorn, I think it really did. It felt like it. It was like Jell-O and popcorn was like mixing together in my stomach to form like, oh, it feels like I ate food.
See, if you don't chew the popcorn, it's even better.
Yeah, it you just gotta choke it down.
You just swallow it like pills.
Yeah, like those last couple of weeks, like it was stuff like that like kept me like alive. I guess it was like eating stuff like popcorn and that 0-calorie Jell-O, because I would finish those.
Your Jell-O. If I remember right, it was 5 calories. I know you're calling it none, but it was almost none.
There's 2.
Mine was like 20 or something, and you want like 4 of them as a snack, and that adds up to something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like the name brand shit is 5 calories. And I found this, like I said, it was this generic shit that's just on a piece of cardboard with cellophane wrapped over the top that my grocery store happens to have. And it's like super cheap packaging, but it
was pre-made for you already.
They're in like little cups. They're like, like little Jell-O cups, and like each cup it says 0 calories. It might be 5, and they're rounding down. I know they'll do that sometimes, but shit, like what's 40 calories? Like it's
it's worth not feeling
I'm counting
miserable.
every calorie, don't get me wrong, but like I remember somebody was like, they were talking about measuring spinach, and I was like, dude, if you're measuring your spinach to the gram, like you've got bigger problems than I do.
What a psychopath.
Like there's so few calories in spinach. I just get a handful at a time, and like I cook it until it like there's enough spinach in the pot to like.
What happens if you eat too much spinach? Nothing.
You become Popeye.
You have a little more spinach in you.
Yeah, Jackie prepares my meals, and it's my wife, and she weighs it all for me so I can enter it in chronometer, whatever. And like, I don't even have the heart to tell her I don't choose the right. They're different mixed vegetables every day, and she's weighing them to the gram, and I just choose the same fucking thing on chronometer every day because it's easier. It's
and that's like close enough.
Yeah,
some things are so non-calorie dense that it's just like have at it. Like you know, I eat those carrots every day. I hate them. I hate those carrots. Woody likes carrots. Yeah, I ate like a handful of baby carrots a day as part of the fucking vertical diet for some goddamn reason. I read something about it's good for digestion, and maybe I'm sure there's some sort of micronutrients in carrots.
You can eat too many carrots. They hurt my stomach if I overdo it. And grapes, I went through this kick where it was like, you know what? If I want to watch TV and have a snack, I just want to live a happy life. And grapes, I don't know anyone who got fucking way overweight and just says, I got to cut the grapes. So I start like pounding grapes and watching TV. And 30 minutes later, the pain. Oh my God, my stomach hurts so much. You can overdo grapes easily and quickly, and it's a big problem. And I didn't know how to get relief from it. It took hours. It was terrible.
That's one thing about the vertical diet. I'll say it's great for digestion. Like your whole like pooping cycle is just like on point. Like you've never got stomach cramps or like diarrhea or anything like that. You just seem like really good digestive health. I think there's digestive health is like off the chain for the last year. That bout of food poisoning I had last week aside. Yeah.
My digestive health is off the chain. Yeah.
It is. Like
hello, kids. Yeah.
I'm just like, I feel like your body's like this big machine with like 100 fucking dials. And I'm like, all right, everything to 100, and, you know, for the last year.
What hasn't been at 100 that you've succeeded anyway? Your sleep schedule is not what people would call ideal. Yeah. And it hasn't caused any trouble for you, it would seem.
No, I get my 8 to 10 hours a day, no matter what. I'll get the sleep in. But doing this show, like I have to be up at some point, and sometimes like it doesn't quite match my workout schedule or whatever. And sometimes like I would have so much caffeine that it'd be hard to like get to sleep on time. But I would get the 8 to 10 hours every single night. And I read somewhere like
sometimes different times of day.
Yeah, you would have to
almost never normal times of day.
Yeah, I would sleep through the day almost continuously. That's why I would get so mad if like somebody rang my doorbell in the middle of the day and like woke me up, because Derek's got a crazy sleep schedule too. Like usually when we're texting, it's 4 or 5 a.m. my time, and it's but yeah, I take a lot of sleep aids. I take the Gorilla Dream. I take a bunch of that sublingual melatonin, and if I really have a hard time, I'll actually take like an over-the-counter like Tylenol PM or something like that. That sleep's super duper important. I think a lot of people undervalue like how important getting a full 8 to 10 hours of sleep are. Because I read this article about some guy who broke some powerlifting record. I don't remember what lift it was, but he was saying that he was sleeping 14 hours a day, like leading up to like his like prep for the contest. And that kind of stuck in my mind, like your body's kind of like growing and repairing itself like during that time that you're asleep. If our only goal here is to get big and fucking strong, whenever we're not working out, we should probably be getting as much sleep as possible. And so I had no problem getting some extra sleep.
When you're on the vertical diet, all the red meat, how do you keep your cholesterol under control?
It just regulates itself if you have everything balanced. Like it's like you're gonna get your protein from somewhere. So it's like in general, you have a lean, like high quality cut of meat, like a bison, and then the rest of your diet is filled with like, rice and like other micronutrient. Not that rice is micronutrient dense. That's like not. It's just a way to get calories in if you're trying to gain muscle. It's easily digested. Blah blah blah. But the other stuff, everything is designed to be like well tolerated, and it's not like you're having the fatty like McDonald's, fucking trans fat ridden stuff. You're having like high quality grass fed bison from like a butcher or something. Like that kind of thing isn't going to totally nuke your lipid profile. So in general, you shouldn't really have a problem maintaining like a high quality blood work if you're eating high quality food. It's just a matter of like guys who are getting the bottom of the barrel shit that are going to end up with problems.
If you're eating that 80% lean ground beef, you're going to fuck your cholesterol up. I spend a little extra. Yeah. Oh,
because you're doing like 96.4 or something, right?
Is sugar terrible for your cholesterol? I know you're in the middle of a thought, but I thought sugar was a big part of why cholesterol was bad. No?
That too, but it also depends on like how well you tolerate sugar to begin with. So like, for example, Kyle, he went for a walk after every single meal, which helps you keep your blood sugar under control and helps actually partition nutrients. So for him, he's getting like the maximum benefit of each food, and he's only eating as much as he needs to like fuel recovery. And in a deficit, not even hitting his like physiologic needs. He's literally losing weight. So it's pretty hard to fuck up your lipids when you're like depriving yourself of the food you need to like survive. So for like, it's not that hard to maintain if you're doing like enough exercise consistently. Like a lot of people don't realize too, the little walks after meals are probably healthier than going for like one big burst of exercise.
Yeah, it was
what were you saying? I cut you off.
Oh, the beef that I eat is extremely lean. It's 97% lean, and it's expensive. It's $10 a pound, like I said earlier. And sometimes I would grind if they didn't have it. Like I use Instacart to get my groceries a lot. They'd be like, they don't have lean beef, and I'm like, get the leanest sirloin steak they have. And so they would give me the leanest sirloin steak they have, and then I grind it into ground beef in my kitchen. I've got a KitchenAid meat grinder. So if I wanted ground, I would grind up 2 pounds of like sirloin, and it's like super duper lean. Like when you look at it, like you can't find fat. It looks like a tuna steak or something. And I would just use that. So like I never ate even 90% like ground beef. Everything was just super, super, super lean. Like there's no cholesterol in my diet. It's so calorie dense. I can't afford it, right? Like if you're eating that, if you're eating like those 10 almonds I eat a day are the fattiest thing I eat. Probably the most calorie dense thing I eat every day is 10 almonds.
That was counting my calories and putting it, like weighing it and putting it in a chronometer. I didn't realize how bad, well, not bad, but like I didn't realize what nuts were. I thought they were a protein. Nuts are fat. Nuts and seeds are fats.
Yeah. And it'll fuck your diet if you have too many of those.
They're so good though.
I'm a big fan. Mixing some sugar with your fats, and you got a great meal.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like some of those almonds you can buy are like literally coated in candy. It's like candy fat. It's your brain loves it. Your brain is like, oh, you found the fucking tree of life. You found fat covered in candy.
Yeah, throw some M&Ms in there and some raisins, and you got yourself a good snack.
We'll be able to survive for weeks like this on the Serengeti. Meanwhile, your brain doesn't know that you live on a couch.
Yeah. And then you weigh it. Like if you weigh a bowl of trail mix, right? I used to have a bowl of trail mix as I plumped up, and it's like 1,800 calories or 2,000. Yeah. Like half of your day's calories came from a snack that you could have done without. It was just a break in discusple.
Because it's for hiking. Like when they're like, oh, I don't have enough room.
Yeah.
Hiking, sleeping. I mean, you do you.
Hiking. I do it Netflixing, Sometimes I like to have 1,400 calories of pistachios and go directly to bed.
One thing I would do is I would usually save like 200 calories from my diet every day because I knew I would always wake up in the middle of the night. And I know it's not good for sleep, supposedly, but I had these like 200 calorie protein bars, and it was like, seems like I can get an extra burst of protein synthesis if I have a protein bar like in the middle of it. Like I wake up at 3 a.m. or not at 3 a.m. I'd wake up at noon because that's my 3 a.m. and I would have like a carb killer like protein bar that was just nothing but like 200 calories of protein. And like, I don't know, I would eat those. I would eat one of those almost every night when I would wake up, because I'd wake up starving. I would wake up and my stomach would just like growling at me. Yeah, the cutting was not a lot of fun. It was fun to watch the results, because like every week it was just like a different me in the mirror. It's nuts when you're like cutting that weight that fast.
Well, I mean, that itself, like, unbelievably motivating. Like,
yeah, that's the thing that I told people was like the reason that I felt like this, that something that made this a lot easier was like I was just getting results, like visual results, like every month. Like there was a different me. You know, I went through my photos, like this is October, November, December, January, February, and every picture it's like a different human being almost. And it's like when you're getting results like that, it's super easy to stick to just about the most Spartan of like programs. And I don't know, that was super helpful. And I think it's just a testament of like pushing yourself that extra 10%. And you know, all the stuff we've talked about, from the diet to the supplementation to the TRT, the L-Carnitine, the cardio, the lifting, every bit of it like combined to like squeeze out that extra 10% of results. And just being able to see visual results are such a big kick in the ass to like keep going though. It's a huge deal. Because I'm sure plenty of people have like started a workout program, gone hard as fuck for like a month, looked in the mirror and saw the exact same person and been like, fuck this. Fuck this. I want a cheeseburger.